Hello friends, welcome back to another video with me. My name is Cotton Candy Doll. If you're new here, welcome, welcome all. This is a shifting video. So, I went back to Toshinori's house. Guys, something happened, okay? It really wasn't my fault this time. It was Toshinori's fault. This time I'm being so serious, like, I'm being completely serious. I am just going to jump into the shifting today. I do want to remind you guys that I have a Discord. My Discord is in the link below. I explained it in my last video. I also have my Twitch followers information down there. I'll remind you about them at the end of the video. But right now, I kind of just want to jump into the video. I'm also going to be keeping track of the time. You might hear noises in the background. You might hear something from outside. It's supposed to thunderstorm today, so anyway, physical Nancy is gonna kill me. I might be expelled from the school. A lot of stuff happened. You guys might actually be shocked because I was pretty shocked by it. Anyway, I'm gonna explain what happened. So I shift to Toshinori's house in the morning, and I just walk inside. We're beyond the point where we're just knocking anymore. Now I just walk in. It only makes sense. Toshinori is like getting breakfast on the table, and I came there a little bit earlier so I could spend time with him. That was my plan, and we're just gonna go to the school together. And I knew that I would be starting out in the school as um like a substitute. Principal Nazir said that based off of the instructions he gave me, I would basically be doing like a lot of office work in the classroom, but my classroom would be empty. It would only be for students who needed study hall or like Mr. Aizawa's class, like when the students can't go on the field trips. I don't know why he tortures the kids that way. If they don't pass a test or a challenge, something like that, he leaves them behind and everyone else gets to go on a trip somewhere. I told you guys my feelings about that, but at least I have a place for the kids to go now where they don't have to just sit down the whole time. At least in my class, I allow them to do other stuff. So Kishinori is like moving around kind of quick, like faster than usual. And I look at him and I go, "What's the matter?" He's like, "I kind of want to get to the school a little earlier today, so we're not going to get a lot of time. We'll at least get breakfast in and then we're going to get ready to leave." And I'm like, "Why do you want to go there so early? I came here specifically like to spend time with you." He's like, "Oh, that's so sweet." He's like, "That's so sweet." And he leans over and kisses me, and I kiss him back. So then we're sitting down, and he's like, um, "So I had the idea to make you into a Mexican jumping bean today because I didn't get to finish my punishment. I haven't gotten my full fill, and he hasn't gotten his fill, blah, 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 whatever. Like, I didn't get my fill either. How do you think I feel about that?" So Toshinori, so he's like, I'm gonna go get the device I need to make that happen for me. And I'm like, no, you don't really need to. I'm like, it's my first day. I want to make a good impression, not a bad impression. In your sick, twisted head, Toshinari, you might know what's happening to me, but no one else will know. And I don't really want to be that uncomfortable around students. No, thank you. You know. And he's like, you really can't tell me no, my love, because we already had this agreement, and we don't really have a lot of time today. And I go, well, that's a bummer because I actually came here to spend more time with you. I wanted to get to hug you and kiss you, you know? And he's like, well, I'll be right back. And I go, wait. And I look at the calendar because, like, you guys remember when I was there last time I lied about being on my period? Because, I don't actually get a period. He had the date circled on his calendar when he thought it would come back. And today happened to be that day. So I told him, I was like, I actually started my period. And he looks at the calendar. He's like, shoot, you're right. He goes, well, it just started, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'll be right back. And I go, what are you doing? He's like, would you mind cleaning up out here, my love? I go, sure. So I clean everything up, I put everything away, and it takes me about probably 10 minutes to get everything cleaned out, and it doesn't take me long at all. And then so Toshinori comes back in the room, he's holding this black bottle, and it has a red label on. The label's about this big. And it has words so tiny you can't even read like what's on it. So I'm like, what is that? Like, what is this drink that you have here? And he reaches into his cabinet and he grabs a single shot glass. Now it's about this tall, okay? And it's about this wide. So it's kind of small, but it's not too small. I mean, it's big enough. And I go, Toshinori, what is that? He sits it down on the table. He's like, let's play a game. And I go, what kind of a game? He's like, truth or dare. I'm like, Toshinori, I look at the watch, I'm like, do we really have time? Do we really have time for this? We do have to go to school soon, and I don't know that this is smart. I mean, isn't this a bit like irresponsible? We're gonna be drinking and he's like, it's not poisonous, it's not gonna paralyze you or anything, it's a regular drink. I go, it's a regular drink. He's like, yeah, it's a regular drink. Guys, he puts the glass in the middle of the table, he fills it up to the top. So like it's almost overflowing. And he goes, I'm gonna go first. I go, okay. He goes, truth or dare. Of course I'm gonna say truth. Like I can't have Yoshinori dare me to do crazy stuff in at the school. So I'm like, truth. He's like, is there anyone else you love as much as you love me? And I don't mean God. Guys, I drink it. I just drink it because. So then he's like, okay, your turn. And he pours the glass to the top again. And I go, okay, Toshinori. I said, if you ever had a chance, would you actually kill me? Would you kill me? He says, no, I was never lying about that. I go, okay, it's my turn. Truth or dare? He goes, truth. I said, did it give you pleasure to see Principal Nezu rip me a new one last time? You said you knew and you didn't say anything. Did it give you pleasure to see me hurt like that, to see me upset and crying? And he said, no. It never makes me happy to see you upset. Um, I don't want to see you hurting or in pain unless I'm the one inflicting that pain, my love. And he like picks up my finger and he kind of bites it a little bit, but he doesn't bite it too hard. He's just teasing me. And I kind of like shudder a little. I'm like, okay. He goes, my turn. Truth or dare? I go, dare. He's like, I dare you to get the device and put it in you so that way you can be a Mexican jelly bean. I'm like, guys, this freaking pervert. I'm like, no. I just told you I was on my period and that's why I can't do it. So I was like, no. He goes, take a drink. So I drink it. Oh, by the way, I didn't describe what it tastes like. So this drink is freaking delicious. It tastes really fluffy, okay? The liquid, it almost looked thick, but it's actually really runny. And it has like a strawberry bubbly, fluffy taste to it. Like a soda, but it's completely different. It reminds you of like oh, how do I explain it? Anyway, so I drink it because I'm like, I'm not freaking doing that, you know. And then it's my turn. So I go truth or dare. He goes there. I said, I dare you to take off your underwear and give them to me. So he's like, this pervert. And I'm like, Takes it off. He takes off his pants first, and then he takes it off. His he takes off his blue boxers, hands them to me, and like he's like bulging out. So I take them and I put them in my pocket. I like smell them first. They smell really good, like him. He's clean. I mean, he just got dressed, so it's like he always smells really good anyway. So I just had him in. I just stuffed him in my pocket. So then he goes, "Truth or dare?" And I'm like, "Truth." He goes, "Okay, are you really on your period? Does your period really start today?" And I'm like, "No." So okay, your turn. I go, "Truth or dare?" He's like, "Truth." I'm like, do you really love me? Um, do you really love me like you say you do? And he's like, "Yeah, I do love you. I've never lied to you about that. You know, I've never lied about it." I'm like, "Okay." And he goes, "Truth or dare?" And I'm just gonna keep saying truth because you know what? Even though I've already had like 2 drinks, it's fine. Did I have 2 or 3? I couldn't remember. I can't remember. But he goes, um, "So, what is your guide's what is you and your guide's perfect purpose outside of this reality? What is your purpose? Are you gonna tell me?" I drink because I'm like, that's a secret. I'm never sharing that with anyone. I can't. It's not meant to be shared. And then he looks at his watch. He's like, "Oh, this is all the time we have today. I'm so sorry." And he pours another one. And he's like, "Since you lost," I'm like, "I didn't lose." He's like, "You lost because you didn't answer the most questions. You got them wrong. So you're going to take the last drink." So I take the last one. So I had like 4 shots of this delicious strawberry bubbly stuff. He puts the top on and he twists it. And I'm like, "What is that?" He goes, "It's called Your Delight." I'm like, "Okay." What a weird name for a drink, guys. Anyway, we're leaving out. We're walking. Um, we get there. Principal Nazu left me a note. It says, "Kind Candida, welcome to your first day of school as a new teacher. I realize that I did put you on probation. However, please do really good on this first day to show me that I was wrong and that I know I can trust you. I believe in you, and everyone else does. Welcome." So I read the note and it has like instructions telling me like where to go in the school. And my class is like on the second floor, which is not really where I wanted to be. I didn't want to be up. But he said, it was the best place for the students who were in like a study hall. And he said I probably won't get any students today. What I can do is like decorate the class or whatever. So I have the paper and I just sit it. I go in my classroom. Guys, my classroom's pretty big. There's like desks everywhere. In the back, it has like a shelf back there. It has a plant over here. So windows. It has like a podium in front, but then there's also a desk next to it. And the seat is like it's one of those rolly seats that you roll around in. I thought it was pretty cool. It didn't look like it really belonged in that room. So I'm wondering if Principal Nezu did that or if Toshinori just decided he wanted me to have a comfortable chair and he decided to sit me over there. So I'm sitting in the chair, I'm going through rummaging through the notes, I'm looking at everything, and I'm like, the class is pretty simple, you know. So I'm in charge of the lesson plan, I'm in charge of the details they do in the classroom. The kids that are in study hall are completely separate from the kids that are from the other classrooms who didn't go on trips or things like that. I can also help them with work if they need it too. And so it's not really busy there. I don't really hear a lot of kids. And, so I leave my work on my desk and I'm like, I'm just going to run to the bathroom. And when I come back, I'll put together a plan because supposedly there's supposed to be kids. Um, there might be kids coming later, but there might not be because, like I said, I don't really know how it works yet. I'm still getting into the groove of what happens. I go to the bathroom and stuff, and I'm leaving out, and all of a sudden, the freaking the freaking room starts spinning. And so I stand up. I'm like holding onto the wall, and I'm like, what the heck is happening to me? And I'm freaking disoriented, and I start getting like the hiccups, like, and I'm like, I was actually kind of swaying, and I'm like, oh my god, guys, I'm freaking drunk, and I hear Principal Nazu, but I don't see him because I can't really see where I'm walking anymore. I just know that like I was trying to walk back to my classroom and at least just sit there. And I could like pretend to listen or whatever I had to do because it's my first day and I can't let him know. But I know my face is probably beaming red because it always does. Oh my god. So I'm like, oh my god, Toshinori, I'm gonna freaking kill him when I see I'm gonna kill him when I see him because this is not right. He did that. I think he was like mad too because he knows I love someone else, but they don't exist in this reality here. Like they don't exist in our reality, with us. They exist elsewhere. And there's a reason for that. But I really can't explain all of that to him. He's gonna be jealous anyway. Anyway, I'm making my way down the hall and I hit the classroom and I'm like, oh, thank God I'm in my class. I start walking in and I'm like, I'm swaying even more and I hit the side of the desk, like I hit my hip on and I'm like, ow. That actually kind of hurt like a lot and I'm laughing. And then, I move away from it and I feel like, I feel Toshinori's boxers kind of like slide out of my pocket a little bit. And, and then like I'm blinking like because I see like blurs in front of me and I don't really know what's happening, what's going on. And then like I'm losing my grip I lost my grip on the desk. I was trying to hold on to it. And I kind of like fell over. Sorry. I kind of like fell over. And so like I had the boxers in my hand and I was kind of falling over and the little blobs got closer to me. And guys, I realized I'm in the wrong freaking classroom. I came into a classroom full of kids, I guess. And I'm holding Toshinori's boxers in my freaking hand. So I'm trying to stuff them in my pocket before anybody sees. It's freaking most embarrassing feeling in the freaking planet. I hear, are you okay? What's going on here? Is she alright? Everybody back up. Give me some space. She needs space. And I'm like, it's freaking Ida. I can hear Ida's voice. He's like, back up, give some space. He's like, are you okay? And then I hear like, who is it? It's our new teacher. It's our new teacher, Cotton Candy Doll. Guys, I'm like, actually, I'm not supposed to be in here right now. If one of you guys could like help me, I can get up and I can go into my my class. And I hear Principal Nazu coming down the hallway. I think him and Toshinori are talking. I can hear Toshinori's voice and then I hear his voice and I'm like, oh no. And the kids are like, Candy, are you okay? I'm like, shh. I'm like, don't tell anyone I came in here. And I managed to get like outside of the door and I don't see Toshinori or Principal Nezu because I don't see any blobs. So I'm like I'm crawling on the floor, like of the hallway, guys. The floor felt like, so like my knees were hurting because they were rubbing up against like, okay, I had on like this dress, okay, and I didn't wear I was debating if I should wear like something under it, like tights, and I wasn't. So I'm crawling on the ground because I can't see where I'm going, and I go into the next room that I can find, and I like hide underneath the desk. Like I know it's the desk, hide under there. I'm technically supposed to be in my class, but I don't want Principal Nancy to see me like this. And like that was kind of close, at least I managed to get away, right, guys? And so like I'm putting my hands on my pockets because I'm like rubbing them like this because I'm kind of anxious and nervous, and I realize Toshinori's underwear is like gone. Toshinori's underwear are gone. They're not in my pocket. I'm like, shit. So then like I get up and I'm like stumbling out, and I'm just like, which way do I need to go? And my vision starts to become clearer, and I see Principal Nezu. He's like by his office, but he doesn't notice me yet. So I'm like, okay. And like I'm walking past, like he's like, okay, so he's facing this way, the opposite direction, and I'm facing the other direction. So I start kind of running, trying to run that way, and I have my hands against the wall. And I hear Principal Nezu say, "Can you hear me that way?" I'm like, no, goodbye. I gotta go. And I'm like running, and I get around the corner, and Toshinori is there, and he's like smiling. He's like, "How do you feel? Do you feel good, right?" I'm like, "That's not right, Toshinori." He's like, "Shh," and he pulls me into the other classroom, and like, I don't know where Toshinori was supposed to be because Mr. Aizawa was obviously there somewhere in the building. I'm surprised I didn't run into him. But we go into one of those empty rooms again, and of course, right there in the room, I'm like, the whole time I'm telling him, like, stop it, please. I'm like, Toshinori, please stop. I'm like, stop. I'm like, stop, stop, stop. I'm like, we can't. We're at school. He's like, I don't care. I can't wait any longer. I have to touch you now. I have to be in you right now. And I'm like, we're gonna get caught. And he's like, we're not gonna get caught. The door is like locked. And so it happens in the class, in the other classroom, the empty one. I still can't really tell what's going on. Like I couldn't really see, so I couldn't like really protest that much. But it did feel, it always feels amazing. But I felt so guilty too. I'm like, he's like, you obviously can't be here like this, can you? I'm like, no. He goes, okay, he's like, I'll be right back. And he leaves out of the room. And then finally he comes back. He's like, okay, I'm going to just take you home. So Toshinori carries me out of the building. I'm like incapacitated or whatever, like out of it. He's like walking me to back to the house, and he's like, just rest here until you like get better. I'm gonna go back to the school. So he leaves and goes to the school. And he had the idea. I guess he had the idea I was gonna wait for him there. I did not wait for. I called my guide. My guide came and like got me. He like scooped me up and took me out. And when I got back here, I'm just like, I can't freaking believe that my first day was screwed up like this. I wonder what Toshinori is going to tell Principal Nezu. Either I'm going to be expelled or I'm not going to be expelled. Like, I don't know. Worried about that. But anyway, um, I don't know what's going to happen the next time I go back there. It's Toshinori's fault this time. See, guys, I told you it wasn't me. You're probably skeptical. You're probably like, yeah, you did something. I didn't do anything. I guess I should have answered more truthfully. I guess I should have just told him everything. But I'm not at that place yet where I can tell him, like, I'm still like discovering things on my own. I'm still seeing new things. There's so much. And I really would like to share it with you guys. So if you can go on Discord, I can talk to you there. I don't really know how safe I am on YouTube. I don't feel comfortable enough that I feel safe enough to talk about everything here. I do want to tap more into shifting. I have to shift tutor on there. That's going to be every Monday. night at 7, and it's going to be from 7 to 7:30. I basically give you like we have like conversation. I try to give you like advice or tips on what you can do. Shifting is not something that you know, I don't think it's something that people just up and do. A process has to happen first. So I did talk on there a little bit on Discord. And I have my today for journal, I have my last chat. These are all like texting, and my shift tutor is voice. So also don't forget to follow those people on Twitch. If you don't want to, you don't have to, but if you want to watch the games that are there for your entertainment until I can actually provide it, because I can't really provide it, so I'm giving you people that actually play these games a lot that I think you might be interested in. Right now, I am Baby Boy's playing Walking Dead. I think he's gonna play again today. He doesn't play it for very long though. I think because the chapter is short, so he only does about like an hour. But he also does WWE, NBA 2K. There's XhaleTV. They do Apex, Rogue Company, Genshin Impact, Valorant, other games. He probably won't be on again until next week. But they have a lot of offline videos you can watch just for fun if you like those type of games. And then MaidSpare, she does like Tales of Berseria, I think. She does Pokemon Conquest, and she also does Genshin Impact. And what was she playing last time? Mario Party, I think. But she does her videos sometimes in the evening, and I can't make it to her videos. But when she does do them, um, and I'm not at work, I'm able to join in. So all these channels, I try to join in when I have time. If they come online, I will go to them because I want to support my favorite people on there. Um, anyway, I needed to tell you guys what happened because I feel like when I go back there, Visible Nazir is definitely gonna give me a mouthful. But I feel like if Toshinori talks to him, it might help. Maybe he can defend me. Maybe he can say like she wasn't feeling well or she was sick or something. And like I don't know. Like I don't know what he's gonna tell him. He clearly like saw me, but it's like yeah, I don't know. Oh my gosh. I know it's crazy, right? Anyway, if you guys have questions for me, put them in the comments below. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to like the video, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you're notified when another video is available to you. All right, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.